Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Strange open.
I thought it was great.
It was also great. I didn't say. I know that strange is viewed as pejorative. There are many things in the world that I think are strange that I love.
Like me?
Like Billy.
Oh.
Wait, what?
So
I think I'm normal. I know that people think I'm strange. In my world, I'm the most normal thing.
do you think that strange people know they're strange? Do you think strange
No,
people?
because everyone else is strange to me.
Witty knows he's strange.
Witty's a good example from our world. I believe we have a lot of strange people in our world. I believe I am one of them, but I know I'm strange. I don't know how many people know they're strange.
I don't think that I would classify myself as strange. I think I would classify myself as a nonconformist who's not much interested in society's views of him.
Yeah, you're an anarchist.
No, not an anarchist. I just, like, I'm fine. Like, if I'm strange, okay, I'm strange, whatever. I like, what I like, and that's fine.
I happen to gravitate toward weird people. I think that weird is interesting, and I would love for everybody in our audience to have permission to be weird without being judged by the alleged normal. But let's put it on the poll. Do strange people know they're strange? Let me ask the group, though, how do you feel about Valentine's Day? Because I would say I have a new relationship with love in the last 4 or 5 years, and it's as much to do with my wife as it is to do with the death of my brother. And so today is a day, like every day is for me, when you start realizing or come to grips with the idea that life is short. Any day is a good day to celebrate the people that you love, but people actively don't like this holiday because there's a commercialization of it that cheapens love.
This is dangerous ground, but like, did you and Lebo get each other Valentine's gifts? I don't understand why this is like a particularly
that I appreciate love more. I appreciate love more than I did before. It's as simple as that.
And it feels like your wife expects you to do stuff on Valentine's Day in a way that maybe you didn't do stuff on Valentine's Day prior?
Well, she expects me to pay attention about being present is what she expects me to do. And there are many things that this job does that don't allow that. What are you laughing about, Billy?
Well, because you're here.
So you're here.
Yeah, that's right.
It's pretty funny.
Well, and so now you know why it is that I come in stomping in. Now you know why on Valentine's Day I come in stomping in, because Stugotz was supposed to work today and I was not. We'll get back to love in a second. I want Tony and Jeremy and Jessica's opinion on Valentine's Day. Less so yours. There are a lot of plates you're spinning in the executive producer chair, so you don't have to concentrate on love today. You just have to concentrate on not making me hate you.
You sound like my wife, honestly. Like, this is the most at home I've ever felt, is the way you're talking to me. Like, don't worry about me. Worry about yourself.
Before we get to the back row's opinion about Valentine's Day, though, because of Stugotz's general unreliability, we've had a number of meetings with him about being more courteous with his schedule.
And literally present.
And literally present. That's right. We're asking him to be in a conscious state of literally present. Thank you. Yes, we are asking him to reach enlightenment by being just simply present. But as you can see over there, his chair's not even in the right place. He's not here, and I wasn't supposed to be here today. But I want to play for you guys some sound at the beginning of Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco talking on Nightcap. They've got a very popular show. They've got a growing show. It's easy to see why it's popular and growing. And Ocho Cinco plays the perfect role to Shannon Sharpe as Stugotz. He's playing a much more cartoonish and athlete-soaked and famous Stugotz. So listen to how the show after the Super Bowl, you have to understand, okay? Shannon Sharpe has explained to everyone who works for him. I can't even imagine what that environment is like. If I call you at 2 a.m, you're picking up the phone because not everybody wants to work for me. Not everyone can. I need things at 2 a.m. That's how it works. He's very professional, very responsible, crazy about that sort of stuff. And Ocho Cinco is not in any way.
Tight ship, loose ship situation there, Dan? You think Unc drives a tough ship?
Well, Shannon Sharpe has said so, and he gets very frustrated with Ocho in ways that are real. And so while they do the professional wrestling stuff well, and Ocho Cinco has always done it well, I do believe after 20 years of marriage to somebody who frustrates me in a number of different ways, who I also value in a number of different ways because the tension between us is something that makes it a rare thing that can exist for 20 years, these details are things that are dangerous to these kinds of marriages. I will tell you that Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilbon have survived all, and that's why I know the love. This right here is why I know their love is real. Because for more than 20 years, Tony Kornheiser is waiting for 45 minutes for Wilbon to finish his sandwich. And he complains about it every day, and he complains about it every day for 25 years, and it never changes. Here is Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco. As Ocho Cinco, listen as if it's Stugotz, and listen to Ocho Cinco explaining why after the Super Bowl, his partner, Shannon Sharpe, he can't be there on time for him, and Shannon Sharpe has to wait after the Super Bowl for 40 minutes for Ocho Cinco.
Ocho, tell the people why you were late tonight.
Listen, so check me out, right? Check me out, huh? People, listen to me real quick now. This wasn't my fault. Like, see.
Whose fault was it you late? It's Ocho. Was Ocho late or was it the fault late?
All right, you know what? It was Ocho. It was Ocho that was late, right? So I went on a blind date tonight, right? I went to a restaurant very early on. The reservation was for 8 o'clock. You hear me? So I went to a restaurant in Wynwood called Sparrow. It was called Sparrow. Very, very nice place. And they had live music. And I had no idea what the individual who I was going to dinner with, I had no idea what she looked like. So it was a blind date. So you never know. So boom, I walk in, boom, she's already sitting down. I sit down. I order my food. They give me a latte. They got live music playing. We having a good time. We exchanging pleasantries. So boom, the game start. So I told her, listen, miss, I got nightcap tonight, so I need to be able to watch the game. You know, the Thunder and the goddamn Wolves. I need to watch the game, but I can still talk to you as I'm watching the game. So I get up. I say, listen, I ate. We ordered our food. I ate my food. I go outside to go to my car. It's 10 o'clock. I only need 20 minutes to get home. So I'm gonna be here on time. I go outside. They done towed my truck.
Were you parked in a no parking zone?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
They would listen, hold on, wait a minute. Let me tell you why now. At Sparrow, they have valet in the front. I pulled up the valet and asked valet how much was it for valet parking. He said $100. So I catch an Uber to the tow place. I told him, like, sir, I'm in a rush. It's about 10:35 now. It's 10:35. Sir, I'm in a rush. At nightcap tonight, I got to do a show. Can I please pay real quick? Here's my license. So he run my license and said, listen, Ocho, we know who you are, but your truck is already in the system and we can't give you your truck because you owe money for parking tickets, the tolls. You know,
yeah,
the tolls,
I know.
and I don't know. I told, yeah. So I got Sun Pass. I just been running through it and I didn't even realize I done ran out of money on my Sun Pass.
Okay.
So I say, listen, sir, if I can't get my car, can I please get the keys to my house inside the car? And I'm going to Uber back. I'm going to Uber home. And so I Ubered home and boom, I got here at 11:15.
Yeah.
It's a good show. I don't know if it's going to last.
Why?
Because I don't think that Shannon Sharpe will abide that behavior for as long as I have.
Well, none of that was his fault. Yeah. Like, he walked us through what happened. What is he supposed to do?
$100 for valets. Un abuso, by the way.
That's Miami. That's if you go to a popular restaurant in Miami that a lot of people are at, that's what it's going to cost you to put your car out front.
I've never heard that a tow truck company, who we all know are super on the up and up, decide to abide by you owe Sun Pass bills and we're not going to give it back to you. Like, I think, respectfully to all tow truck drivers and tow truck companies out there, and trust me, I don't want to get on your wrong side because I don't want my car to go missing, but I would think that they don't exactly have the closest relationship with the law since they're stealing your car.
That's where the story falls apart to me, because otherwise we're good to go. 8 p.m. reservation. He's there for a couple hours.
But Jeremy, if
the latte doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Hold on, Jeremy. You say it holds up. Just for the record, Ocho Cinco is late to give his analysis of a game that he was on a blind date on when it was happening.
That's right.
Like, just so you understand, you can have all of the expertise of the internet on analysis for the game. That's one person who wasn't paying attention to the game because he was on a blind date.
The timelines didn't line up because he said that the reservations were at 8 and that he had to eat dinner quick to go watch the game when kickoff was at 6:30. So there's kind of like, I don't exactly know what timeline was here. He said he was in Miami, so it wasn't a situation of time zones, which can be very tricky. We've gone over that a number of times. But that wasn't at play there.
See, I thought the same thing, but then he started talking about a Thunder game against either the Bulls or the Wolves. I didn't know. And so it made me think that this was not in reference to Super Bowl night, because that was where it started confusing. Why would you have your reservation at 8 p.m. for a 6:30 game? But you get out in about 2 hours, and you feel like you're making good time. But the Sun Pass part of it, that's where it really, really falls apart.
Yeah. What I loved is that I was looking at it, like you said, as Stugotz. Everything was filtering what Ocho was saying through a Stugotz prism, and I was like, ooh, that's a good one. He got the valet, had to park somewhere that was a little, sketchy, but then he got towed, but then, oh my God, he forgot about the Sun Pass, and they can't give him the thing until, so it was like lie on top of lie on top of lie from Stugotz.
I also may have some bad information here in assuming this was after the Super Bowl, Jeremy, because it may be another game or day. It is the second or third time this has happened between them, and Shannon Sharp keeps getting mad. I thought it had happened again after the Super Bowl, so I might have that part wrong. Going back to what it is that we were talking about before and Valentine's Day. The group of you feel how about this? Jeremy, Tony, Jessica, are there any requirements in your relationship on Valentine's Day?
For me, I don't have strict requirements, right? Like my wife is like, I like Valentine's Day, but it's not like the end of the world. So I was explaining to him yesterday, we were doing a walk with my daughter, and I explained to my wife, I was like, hey, Chris and Mike, she's like, oh, why weren't they on the show? I was like, oh, Chris and Mike somehow convinced their wives to go on a boys' trip for Valentine's Day.
Out of the country.
Out of the country, like not like anywhere close. And she's like, oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Sounds like a great present to their wives.
Touche. I was like, you think that I would be able to do something like that? She's like, no, absolutely not. And I was like, oh, okay, so you value Valentine's Day? She's like, not really. You're just not leaving me with the kid on Valentine's Day. And I was
but
like,
if you were Chris Cody's wife, wouldn't you be like, yeah, get out of town?
Oh, no, yeah. Again, different circumstances.
If you're Kyle, yeah.
Yeah, Kyle's like, go ahead, Kyle.
Please go.
They're both Kyle. Exactly. Yeah, we don't have requirements in fact, I forgot today was Valentine's Day until I woke up and Lehman handed me a gift card to get a massage and a book about Cold War spies, and I'm like, I love Valentine's
Hell
Day.
yeah,
That's a sweet man.
Okay, so what do you do now? Because, like, Dan, this is one of the benefits of working on Valentine's Day that you didn't consider is you get to rush out of the house, right? And you're like, oh, Valerie, I have to go to work. Don't worry, we got something big planned later. And then you have like a shorter day, and now is when you spend the time planning what that big thing is later. Yeah, now that you're out at work, now is when you can do all of the Valentine's errands, and then when you get home is when you go and you do like the big gesture. And by the way, also, if you do like what you think is a big gesture and it gets a bad reception early on, then you have all of work to figure out how to make up for the fact that you had a bad gesture in the morning.
No, it's funny you mentioned the work part because my plan was to get Lehman's present on the way home from work, but then he surprised me with mine at like 7 a.m. And I was like, oh, come on. Like, why are we doing this so early? I'm not ready yet. And now I have to be like, by the way, here's your present. Yes, I did get it this morning.
Here's some lure.
Exactly. You never mention
well,
it.
Well, I'm getting him fresh bait. So, I mean, I couldn't have got it ahead
you
of
tell him,
exactly.
these worms are going to
died.
die.
I've been planning it for months. I just couldn't get it before.
Shrimp.
By the way,
Live
worms.
shrimp.
Can I say something on worms really quick?
Sure, of course. What better day?
Do you see worms anymore, Dan?
Do I see
Yeah,
worms
I haven't seen a
anymore?
worm in a very long time. I haven't seen a worm since like the early 2000s, if you want me to be honest.
What do you think that's about?
I don't know. But when was the last time you saw a worm?
I see worms fairly regularly. I walk my dog. I walk my dog in grass all the time.
And you see a worms?
And I work with one. I don't see him always on Fridays.
Touche.
I feel like I see worms.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a
Do you
live
garden?
worm. No.
Well, that's the reason.
But neither do you.
No, I don't garden, but I'm walking a dog around grass and stuff. And grass, by the way, the things I find in the grass, look where I live. I live on South Beach, right? And my dog is a scavenger. So I have to be paying attention all the time because, hey, there's a baguette in his mouth all of a sudden. Or there's a chicken wing because somebody has decided. And I'm like, wait, how does this happen? There's a full pizza in my dog's mouth because I was in my phone for 5 seconds.
Exactly like living in New York City. You'll walk down the street and all of a sudden your dog is eating a rotisserie chicken. And you're like, where did you get that?
I'm not kidding you that one of the times, because I can be distracted by my phone, job, other things in a perpetual quest to be present, there was a time I looked up and found in my dog's mouth a dead iguana.
Are we sure? Or was it just like
a cold
they were
day?
the frozen
Right,
ones?
exactly.
Yeah.
I left the house this morning, and thank you, Billy, for that advice. It is very, very hard to trick my wife, to get out and about in a way that gives me the time to do something that requires hours of thoughtful, okay? I had the plan to allege I was going to work this morning and then go handle what I needed to handle.
This is perfect. Now you're not even lying.
Well, but I'm here and I don't have the time to get the gift because the gift I have is to spend Valentine's Day with Billy Gill.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that gift, but now you have time to go do stuff. Valerie, yeah, it was a long day, lots of meetings. You're a big man of business now, Dad. You're a baron of sorts, you know? You have to go around and you have to have all these meetings and do all of these things and just tell you, look, this is why you have assistants. You just say, fill up my schedule with nonsense. Just put on there. I have a meeting with, whoever it is. And then I would even, I hope, does Valerie listen to the show?
She's probably listening because she's like,
really.
where is Dan?
Perfect. My wife doesn't listen to the show either. So don't feel bad. Don't think it's like a personal thing. Valerie doesn't listen to the show. It's not. All of our spouses hate the show. They just, it's not the show, it's us that they really are tired of. So
It's the show, too. They resent it.
I think what we should do is the 5 of us in here should make a pact, right? And I think that we should all come up with a code word together for no reason other than funsies. And then what you do, Dan, is you tell your assistant, whenever it is that you have like errands to run or whatever, and you don't want Valerie to know, you say that I have a meeting with, and then the code word, like the code name. And that's just like a fun little thing for all of us to share together. And then we can all use that on our own thing. So then when you're like, hey, Jeremy, like I can't do, pitch clock or whatever. I have a meeting with Keith or whatever name we decide.
Kyle.
Then we know, no, not Kyle, because Kyle,
that's Chris's
it's
wife.
really going to confuse Chris if we do that. So we can't, let's not overcomplicate things.
All right,
for
we'll
him.
work on the simplicity of this plan. But when you say to me, just tell your assistant, fill your schedule with nonsense.
Yes.
She's already doing that.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm asking her to.
No, I know, but you instruct on Valentine's Day, all nonsense.
Okay.
No business.
Okay, all nonsense.
All nonsense on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Take my
All right.
nonsense to noon, please.
All right, good.
It's like the special Lucky Charms. That's all charms.
Yeah. Oh my God, guys. I saw something the other day, and we'll get back to whatever it is that we were talking about before.
Thank you. I appreciate you
Worms, I
allowing me
think.
that privilege.
I saw something the other day, and we can criticize the Kelseys for any number of things, right? Like it's just sometimes it's overexposure, it's too many things on the Kelseys. The Kelseys reinvented cereal, and I didn't even know that cereal needed to be or could be reinvented. And they made a mix. They must have made a deal with General Mills or something, right? Where they basically took 3 of General Mills' most popular cereals and they just re-released it as a Kelsey mix. So I have a picture of it right here, which is not great. So it's on TV if you want. You just scroll on my Twitter.
Billy, I've never seen this before. It's Reese's Puffs, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Lucky Charms?
Yeah, all mixed together in one box. So they just did a third. Oh my God, it's diabetes in a box. Honestly.
diabolical.
I feel that would be, it's like the sweet marshmallows of Lucky Charms, the peanut buttery Reese's Puffs, and then the cinnamony CTC.
Yeah.
That's too much.
It's great. I didn't buy it, but it's great. No, it's going to be incredible.
That sounds like it'd be amazing. You put a bowl of vanilla ice cream and you put that on top as a little topping.
Yeah.
You mix it in and make a milkshake with it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So what are we doing for Valentine's Day? Do we get the gifts? Are we doing flowers? Do you need to do more than just flowers?
I'm getting that for Lehman. I think he would really like it.
Yeah, you should. 1-800-Flowers. Shout out to them, you know.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Juju and a group of others. We've got a whole cavalcade of people at the NBA All-Star Game. We got a ton of people there. So I don't know if Juju is handling the polls today or not. But did the Kelceys reinvent cereal? Does cereal need reinventing? And is sugary cereal diabetes in a box? Put all three of those questions up on the poll.
Do you think people are finding out as they're watching today's Valentine's Day? Like, are we doing a solid for a bunch of listeners that forgot?
Yes.
A public service?
So, like, if you're listening to this live, it's Friday morning. What, Billy, is a good thing for our listeners to get their significant others that it's not too late? Because we all know there's going to be a long line at the florist right now. Yeah. Don't waste your time in the florist line. What should they get them, Billy?
You go to 1-800-Flowers, obviously.
Should have already done that.
That is taken care of.
Should have already
done
it.
But it's not too late.
These people have already forgotten.
Yeah.
We're past that point.
It's not too late, I don't think.
What do they do?
They should shop local.
Yeah, you can go around. I think that you need to get, honestly, at this point in time, it depends on your budget, right? But I think that the way you can get away with it if you don't want to spend a lot of money is you just get a lot of nonsense. Again, we just fill our schedule with nonsense for the day, and then you get a lot of nonsense, and then you fill it with why it's meaningful and why it's so important to you and to your spouse. And then if you can find things that are actually meaningful, that's absolutely great. But if you can't, then what you do is you get something so obscure and so meaningless that what you do is you then try to take it back to like your first date or second
this
date.
This is the cereal we ate on our first
exactly
date.
Right. You just get something that has absolutely no meaning whatsoever.
And you
something,
lie.
Honestly,
Hold
on a second. Something so bland that could be simply forgotten because why would anyone remember it? And then what happens? There's no way to disprove it. Right? And then your spouse or significant other in turn feels bad for not having such a fondness for this item that you think is so important to your relationship that you just made up because you forgot about Valentine's Day. That then it strengthens your bond. The problem is you also then need to kind of really like what that is because then that will be a meaningful thing in your relationship moving forward. So like partially lie, but if you're on a budget, what you need to do is just get trinkets and then try to fill it with meaning. And then you just write like a nice letter. The problem is it's always like the same, like, I love you so much. Thank you for being part of my life. Journey this, whatever. Our souls united. Something about boats. And then boom, done. XOXO.
Excellent work, especially punctuating it, the dismount like a gymnastics routine with the kiss. Yes, that was beautiful. The way that
that's why they call me Carrie Strug of love.
Yeah, the way that you link up with your significant other is to be aggressively bland, lie, and strengthen your bond by making that person feel bad because they don't remember something that you're lying about being meaningful. I'm here for Billy, love coach, to work alongside Billy, yesterday's fear coach. However it is that you want to give seminars on this stuff, perhaps like Tom Cruise in Magnolia.
Listen, I think everybody knows that the true foundation of a healthy relationship is a good dollop of lying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is the good foundation to a good relationship a healthy dollop of lying?
Do you guys make Valentine's Day and other holidays a contest also? Like, you want to win Valentine's Day, right? Like, you try to see what it is that the gift was, and they're like, I'm gonna get a better gift, and I'm really gonna make you feel bad.
I in fact,
I have a healthy relationship.
I in fact, I put it on the poll as well. Are you competitive on Valentine's Day?
You got to win the day.
No, well,
imagine the Harbaughs doing Valentine's Day. Not to bring this back to sports.
Carpe diem. I am the opposite on that. I would be perfectly fine if Valentine's Day was just me giving and not getting anything.
That means you want to win.
Yeah, you desperately want to win.
Yeah, you want to win.
To run up the score, really.
Yeah.
Is what
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
saying.
Right.
Yeah.
So you are the opposite.
Yeah.
Well, because like Valentine's Day is to make your partner feel bad, but there's different ways of making them feel bad. There's either the guilt of, oh, wow, I didn't do enough, or then just the feeling bad of, they didn't do enough for me, they don't love me. Exactly. So,
Honestly,
there's only two feelings, and it's bad or bad. Yeah. So you need to choose which bad you want to deliver that day.
I thought Valentine's Day was about having a fun, sexy time.
Oh,
You're not married yet.
I guess I am the only unmarried person on the show right now.
Tony, I will say some people have noticed Tony, young, vibrant, young buck, have noticed that 43 days of having a baby have had their toll on Tony.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's rude. Guy hasn't seen a worm in 25 years.
Yeah, it's also true, by the way. I haven't seen a worm in a long time. Yeah, hey, I don't sleep. There's that. I feel like Dan, where I'm like writing emails to myself at 3 a.m. to make sure that I remember Miami's top 5 smells. I'm like, oh, this is great. This is great content at 3:45 in the morning.
Let me explain to you something that's been happening here, because I'm trying to take some advice from John Amici on how to properly run a company.
Oh, boy.
And John Amici has suggested, among other things, that whatever emails I have in thoughts at 3 o'clock in the morning, to just program my devices so those send at 8 o'clock in the morning. And so I just learned the other day, this is not something that I even knew I could do with my email, that if I just hold and press on the send for a little bit, it will give me some options on what time I can send. So I've been doing that for about 10 days. But I have not received an answer for one of those emails. So I'm pretty much assuming I'm doing something wrong, because not a one of those emails do I have confirmation that it has landed wherever it is that it's supposed to land.
Have you considered it's the content of the email that is
It
not
might
warranted?
be.
No.
I can't tell.
No.
No, but around here you can't tell. Like the way people infrequently answer stuff around here, I really have no idea.
They could just be in drafts, and they were scheduled to send, or maybe you put like the wrong year, and then like we're really going to be
Next
confused
February,
in
we're gonna get
2027.
so
Exactly. It's like,
many
what
emails.
is this now?
Speaking of sports, let's go ahead to this incriminating photo of what would appear to be Jimmy Butler pooping his pants. We've got Jimmy Butler created all of that for the Miami Heat at the end, and then he took it with him, and now it resides in his uniform, and people are just assuming, right? There is no other answer for that. It's not the Golden State Warriors person is having a bad laundry day. It's not like that is what it takes to get 13 free throws a game.
What does bad laundry day entail? I've never heard of one
You
of
don't put
those.
enough detergent sometimes. All of a sudden you look at it and you're like, oh, that's a stain. But you know what? They won't notice.
It's like a bad arm day.
Have you never thrown anything in the laundry and it comes out a different color than it was supposed to be because you did something wrong, whatever that is? What other explanation
does the laundry.
do we have for this? What other explanation?
I mean, maybe like a very, we mentioned this very briefly yesterday, maybe a very unhydrated pee.
Yeah, it could be.
Like really like bad on the pee chart in terms of, not staying very hydrated. So a very dark urine
It's a little
stain.
back there, though.
And all of the people are assuming it is poop, but I'm with Jess on this. I thought, well, that's urine colored. That's like a very light poop that Jimmy Butler is producing.
He drinks a lot of coffee, Dan.
That
a lot of coffee.
Oh, okay.
So he's dehydrated is what
Right.
you're saying.
That is what I'm saying.
Not that he has.
But it
Not
could be
that he's
flojo,
pooping
Dan.
himself as a result.
Drinking a lot of coffee could
He
also.
could be super
It's
flojo.
both. I was insinuating dehydration.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen this video. I learned this from Floyd Mayweather. I learned it from that, I would say, pioneering sports series that followed Floyd 24/7. Floyd Mayweather was training, and I did not understand how this could be. I still don't understand how it can be. His urine was brown. And I don't know what was happening there in terms
Ketosis?
of how he is training that would make it, because obviously he's exercising more than most human beings exercise in a day. But I did not know that a healthy person could have brown urine. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Can a healthy person have brown urine? Because this is not merely a healthy person. This is one, ostensibly one of the healthiest people, one would imagine. Even if you're living your life recklessly, you're certainly living it in a way that is adhering to fitness at the very least.
You would think maybe some extra substances around the,
Interesting.
And can you guys explain to me? Can you guys look up some things that would explain to me, because I still don't have the answer as to why it is that Floyd Mayweather might have brown urine other than dehydration? Because that's what I assumed was
Sounds
happening
liver
there.
related.
Yeah, that's not.
Kidney related, perhaps.
some bodily function's not working.
Yeah.
One of the lower organs, perhaps.
It was stunning to see, I'm going to say 10 years ago, from somebody who doesn't have any public health issues anyway. I just don't have an explanation for what it is.
It's all saying just severe dehydration. Severe dehydration. So he was constantly getting IV drips to try to avoid that. But that seems to be why it was literally brown. It's Great. Reddish brown is how it's described.
So we have Jimmy. Do we have Jimmy having that same situation?
No.
Well, that's not even brown, though, is the thing. Jessica was very astute here, and I don't know if she wants to be our urinologist or not, but she was very astute in saying that this does not look like brown. This does not look like the color of anything that comes from the back.
Looks
It
like
looks
my babies.
liquid.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, like when the baby's obviously taking leche from a pecho, all of a sudden you look into the diaper and it's like, ooh, that's a interesting color of.
The color of the stuff that comes out of babies is wild.
It's diabolical
Sometimes it's green, sometimes it's yellow. There's a dark brown, a light brown. There's purple. Like, it's insane how much
The
whatever
first one
they
is black.
eat. Yeah.
Like
like tar. You could fix a roof with baby poop
Literally.
when it comes out the first couple weeks. It's crazy, Dan.
Put
You'll
it on
know.
the poll, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Can you fix a roof with a baby's first
Pero
black
negro.
poop?
Yeah, it's and sticky, and like the crazy thing is, it doesn't smell
At all.
At all.
At all.
Like, doesn't smell
I
like
got real close to it,
anything.
too.
Doesn't
Real
smell
close.
like anything, and then all of a sudden you hit like one, and you're like, what? Like, what is this horrific smell? Is there a dead animal in the house? And it's like, no, the baby's poop smell kicked in, and now it's terrible forever. But it starts at like 1 year old.
So it happens with all babies. You're
Overnight,
saying
like
the
that.
first poop
Yeah.
doesn't smell like anything, but the second one is the worst thing
No,
that's ever been in your house?
No,
Once he
you
started
have like
producing solids,
a
I think.
year
Yeah.
where it doesn't smell like anything. So it's like, I don't care about any of this. You get it on your hands. You're like,
Yeah, wash
whatever.
your
There's
hands,
something
yeah.
you lick it
Why
off
don't
if you
they
don't have
teach us
anything.
this in
Exactly
school?
Whatever. What?
This is unbelievable. Why don't they teach us in school?
There's a lot of things
I
they don't
never
teach us
knew
in
this.
school.
I
by
gotta
the
tell
way,
you
Jeremy.
something. If you guys have children, they don't teach you anything. They don't. Not a thing. Like these movies that are like, oh, I need to go to parenting class. That's not a thing that exists. I mean, I guess it is if someone's out there trying to, take money from you. They'll tell you like, oh, I'll teach you how to be a parent. But like, they send you out of the dealership without even a manual on
Nope.
this car.
Nope.
They're just like, you ready to go? And you're like, this baby popped out like 24 hours ago. They're like, yeah, you got this. Good luck.
They don't even walk you to the car anymore, Dan.
No.
They put you in the wheelchair. Jenny was sitting outside at South Miami Hospital. I'm driving around the car and she's there by herself.
By
She doesn't even
herself.
have the brakes of the wheelchair
By
on.
herself. Well, don't mention the hospitals by name.
Sorry.
You guys have to understand, and I'm going to say that my childhood was filled because I, had parents who were exiles and living in this country and scared and in their second language. My life early on was filled with a great deal of responsibility. Okay, I was responsible too early for childhood to be normal. When you tell me the
Andy
idea,
Reid.
when you give me the idea of here's this thing that you don't know how to take care of, and if you do this poorly, it can die. And then they wave to you where the machines and the experts are, and they send you in the car to even put that thing in the car, to me, begins a life that I clearly do not want. Like, I clearly don't want that responsibility for a screaming shit monster, even if the shit doesn't smell like anything for a year, because you're not going to give me a handbook. You're not going to tell me what I'm going to do alone at 2 o'clock in the morning when a sound gets made that I don't understand.
And they make a ton of them, by the way.
Oh, they won't shut
At
up.
2 in the morning, it's like,
Oh my God, shut up. Exactly. Grunting again. It's like, did we bring him a pig? What is this?
and then the arms are flailing, and you're like, oh, is she okay?
oh, no,
she's
you got to
fine.
put it in a swaddle that
Well,
baby.
no, I know, but after-
Swaddle that baby hard. Make
Here's
sure
the
those arms
problem.
can't move.
She didn't like the swaddle. She wanted her arms
Tough
to be
shit.
free.
That's what you say. Hey, baby, tough shit. You're
Well,
getting swaddled today.
I would swaddle her underneath her arms so her arms could be free. 'cause
No,
she sleeps.
rookie move.
She sleeps like this. with
You've
her
lost all
arms out.
control. Have another kid because you've lost control of that one. That kid is never going to listen to you now. If that kid doesn't put on the swaddle properly, you're never going to get control of that child. It's
wanna
lost.
be
It's a lost
swaddled.
battle.
Okay, so next one?
Next baby. Give up on this one already.
Okay.
Lovely, just give up on it. Lost cause, this baby. Sorry,
Put it
Dan.
on the poll at Le Batard Show. You are not sorry. Do you swaddle that baby hard, tough shit baby? Yes or no?
You have to.
At
Yeah.
Le
You need to
Batard
let the baby
Show.
know really early on who's boss. And it's hard to do so because you see the baby like, oh, I love you. You're in charge. But you're the boss. And never forget it.
Jessica, I heard you mention you want to be swaddled. I'd never heard the word
so nice.
swaddle before you guys just mentioned it. It's not a word I had
What
ever
about
heard.
baby Jesus? He was swaddled.
He was in a manger. Thank God for that.
Put it on the poll as well, Juju, even though it might not be Juju. Have you ever used the word swaddle, yes or no? I wanted to ask you guys something here before we get out of the local hour. Bill Simmons reported that he saw Tyreek Hill at the Super Bowl. And this is some of the greatest flimsy reporting I've ever heard in my life. Like, I'm here for all of it. I wish more people would do it more. I'd be totally fine. I would be totally fine with a channel, a network dedicated every day to getting news this way. Bill Simmons saw Tyreek Hill at the Super Bowl, and somebody in Tyreek Hill's group just said while leaving, watch out for the Chargers. I would have a news network dedicated to the people around athletes just telling me what to watch out for. Because Tyreek Hill has already done stuff on social media that points out the Chargers. The Chargers are going to do something. Like, it's not going to be Harbaugh saying, hey, Herbert's the best quarterback and talent-wise that I've ever seen, and I'm not going to get him another Keenan Allen, and I'm not going to get him another Mike Williams. They're going to get something over there that ends up feeling a little more stronger on offense. And Tyreek Hill, I don't know how much time he has here, but he has liked the Chargers. However it is you do that privately, publicly, when you're liking stuff on the internet. And I think, didn't he just retweet something? Didn't he retweet a story about interest from the Chargers?
Yeah, I was worried how that story was going to start because I thought that we wanted to have a channel dedicated to following Tyreek Hill around 24 hours a day, which I thought, bad idea. We don't need that.
Speaking of people, the last thing he retweeted was the story about Noah Lyles challenging him to a race, which
That'd be a tight race.
I'm not like I want to watch this, like, I care so much about the track versus football, but I would watch the shit out of this. I would watch this race.
How would you handicap that?
Man, I don't think it's close. Like, I think the track star is better at running track than anybody who plays sports. Like,
well, I think Tyreek wanted to do a shorter distance. So then it's all about the burst at the start. Dan.
Okay, well, I guess that's a different thing, but I thought we were doing it over 100 meters.
How about you put some pads on Noah Lyle? Okay, get out to the 1 yard line, all right, and then run 99 yards against Tyreek Hill.
I think most people would watch that. What I am, though, deeply tired of is Tyreek Hill threatening to make that happen with everybody, and then it never happens. Like, with anybody.
Never happens.
It doesn't, okay. And at this point, Tyreek Hill's not in his prime on speed anymore. Like, whatever. I'm not saying anything that's shocking to anybody, correct? Like, you don't get – how many world-class sprinters are there in the 30s? I thought the prime for an athlete is going to always be in your 20s, so I would assume that whatever Tyreek Hill is of fast now, it's not the fastest he's ever been. My guess would be that it's the slowest he's been in his athletic prime, I would guess.
You got to sell on him, right? Like, if you can get anything for Tyreek Hill, you sell now. Because before it's too late.
Well, before he loses the race, potentially.
That's true.
Which apparently is on sometime this spring
business.
or summer.
Yeah,
so.
maybe.
It's already too late, Billy. It's already too late. I'm sorry to break your heart.
I mean,
on Valentine's
Day.
shows back then, I don't know if I'd be here right now today, standing in front of you. No cap, like no capadonna. Musicals had the capability to make you feel ways that you never thought possible. Even if you might find the subject matter mundane going into it, by the end of the experience, you might find yourself spiritually enlightened through the magic of song and an occasional exposition to advance the story. Matter of fact, I'm feeling ways about football right now I could never dream prior to. I think I'm about to have a moment, my brother. Way down in the jungle deep, a lion bit a Viking on his motherfucking knee. It began in 1869, I see you, Mojo, with a match between the Princeton Tigers and the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. Then in 1880, along came a man named Walter Camp, the father of American football, the Waltster, Wham, as they called him. He established the snap, the line of scrimmage, 11-player teams, and the concept of downs. The gladiator spectacle. Though the game has evolved over time, at the heart of it, the game of football is just a primal means to tell the age-old story of the triumph of the human spirit. Can you and your teammates overcome the brutal battery of physical and emotional trials over the course of a savagely cruel 18-week regular season, brother? And what be your reward for such a merciless gauntlet? A thrilling single elimination tournament that pushes the peak male form to high water marks year after year against the game's very best. All with the hope that you and your brothers in combat can rise above all others in one unified voice. Declare yourselves champion. That is why, with every fiber of our being, we love the playoffs.
When the best play, trenches face to face, sacrifice life and limb for the Lombardi. If there's a way, Stafford turns it all around. It would have to be LA, it would have to be McVay. What you say, Tom Brady, always down. Could he turn it all around now? Turn it all around now. Wipes the blood from his lip, holy shit, he's gonna do it all again, do it all again. It's time for the playoffs, so grab a beer, I hope it's Miller Lite. It's time for the playoffs, the playoffs. It's time for the good stuff, where every game comes down to guys who kick. It's time for the playoffs, the playoffs, the playoffs.
Ah, the playoffs. Hot goalies, playoff beards, and Lord Stanley.
No, Roy, I'm not talking about ice hockey. I'm talking about the NFL playoffs, the gridiron, win or go home, the ultimate postseason tournament. Here, let me show you. Big Ben's last game, Kyler's feeling shame, upsets in Green Bay and in Tennessee. There's just no way Prescott's going to the ground. He slid 1 second too late, and they don't have a timeout. Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Arrowhead, become personal playgrounds. Too much time, 13 ticks. Holy shit, he's gonna do it all again, do it all again. It's time for the playoffs, so grab a beer. I hope it's Miller Lite. It's time for the playoffs, the playoffs. It's time for the good playoffs sometimes mean having to say goodbye, even if you're not ready. Careers wind to an end, mantles taken, last chapter's written. But stars emerge to write new, exciting stories. For every door that closes, a new one opens. For every immunized quarterback that falls short, there's a young hotshot ready to take his place. There's nothing quite like the playoffs. The playoffs. Heavy is the head that wears the crap. I'm talking about the greatest of all time. He can turn it around in just one play. You can watch it all happen in the playoffs. The playoffs. The playoffs. It's the playoffs. Never is afraid. I see his face. The chosen. I'm talking about Adam McPherson. It's time for the playoffs. It's the playoffs. The playoffs. It's the playoffs.
Evan McPherson? The GOAT? He's a kicker. I mean, Tom Brady's bed's still warm. Tom Brady just left.
You're the greatest of all time. You're the greatest of all time. He's beautiful in every way. It's out of control.
He throws the ball most accurately and won 7 rings.
So good at quarterbacking, he's meant to our decade teams.
A 6-round draft pick with a chip on his shoulder and a dimple on his chin.
You're the greatest of all time. You're the greatest of all time. He broke so many records and reached unattainable goals.
I said he was done 10 years ago when he shoved it down my throat.
He played the Jets twice a year and always ripped out their souls.
And just like that, he left us all wanting more.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
O'Shea Jackson going to join us at the end of this hour. We're going to open up the club as well. Got a lot to get to. Don't have enough show for all the things that I want to get to today. I will admit publicly here something that's uncomfortable to admit, and I believe one of the greatest failures of Meadowlark Media as a company. The fact that we do not yet have an oatmeal sponsor for the way that Jessica shovels into her face her breakfast oatmeal during work in a way that's a bit self-conscious, but not really, because I saw her watching the cameras. I think we should have oatmeal cameras trained on Jessica to catch her in the act of pelican eating all of the oatmeal.
It's Valentine's Day for me and my oatmeal as well, Dan. Yeah. We're having a very nice time together this morning.
I think we should be sponsoring it. I think we should be profiting off it. I think you personally should be profiting off of how much you love that oatmeal. I want to ask the audience for some help with something. Put the hashtag Venmo on it, because I am a bit tired of how it is that the loose ship around here results in not even Venmo, a trusted sponsor, having the people around here respect the fine bucket. So hashtag Venmo. Please, audience, tell me what I need to start doing as punishment to people who do not pay their fines. Because that fine, the weird part about those fines is I'm the only one paying them for 4 years, and I never get that money. That money is in the fine bucket, but the people getting it are employees, and the amount of money should be 10 times what it is because Stugotz and Cody and because everyone else is paying their Venmo fines.
Are we talking about the Venmo bucket, which is presented by Venmo?
That very bucket.
It was a busy week for the Venmo bucket. By our records, we had one fine. $20 to David Sampson for coughing.
No, your records are wrong.
Let the records
What,
show.
more like 50?
Yeah.
Greg Cody had an assortment of fines.
Oh yeah. There was a situation where you took his phone and you guessed his password.
So Billy, the person who's not going to be in charge of it is you.
Oh
yes,
no, I'm not in charge of it.
No. And furthermore, I don't want a syllable of your opinions on it.
On the Venmo bucket, presented by Venmo.
Yeah, no, that you can say that and nothing else.
Oh, okay.
About that. But I want the audience to tell me what I need to do to make the shipping container and others pay their penalties so they can have money. Like it's the funniest thing. It's like so they can have money from others in the container who aren't paying their money.
From the Venmo bucket, which is presented by Venmo.
Yes.
Got it.
Thank you. I have a number of other things that I want to get to. I want to get to some Rob Ryan audio. I have a funny word association that I do with Rob Ryan, which is when I hear the name Rob Ryan, I immediately imagine pizza boxes in a van, but I'm not making a fat joke there. It's just because he admitted to having a lot of pizza boxes in his van, and it's totally unsurprising. Like, if I said anyone in sports, like, if you're not making fat jokes, if you're just doing it visually on who's got pizza boxes in their van, it's this guy. So tell me now, because I did not know that Rob Ryan is now at USC. The Ryan family continues to get jobs in football, even though they've got pizza boxes in their van and sound like they're chewing on their teeth when talking on First Take and other programs like this. But Jessica, this sound from Rob Ryan is a meandering journey to nowhere that is wonderful.
It's a wonderful press conference, Dan. This got buried during Super Bowl week, and you were out of town, and I said, we need to save this for when Dan comes back. It's 2 minutes of just beautiful...
Word salad?
No, I mean, you can follow where he's going, but it just is unclear why he's going there. It's wonderful, so we'll listen to it now.
Watch where we finish this year. This guy is special. He's special. He knows how to get it done. He's a great communicator, great teacher. He's fun to be around. He makes everybody better, including the coaches. And, we'll see. I'm looking forward for the, spring ball or whatever. I can't wait. We're going to go against the best. Oh, good. Bring it on. Let's see. I can't wait to see that little JUCO kid from Hutch. Bam! We're going to get after his little butt. But anyway, it'll be great. We're excited. And I saw the Mayava guy. I coached his uncle. I hated that kid when I first saw him. A USC kid, a little captain. Remember, he could walk under this table right here. Little guy. And we draft this little runt. I'm like, oh, man. This guy, I was all over this kid during the OTAs. Like, man, this guy, man, you got to run to cover guy. Anyway, so then I'm like, hey, guys, Sweet Life is going on vacation with the family, going out to Hawaii. Going to Maui. I've never been to Maui. I run things in Oahu, but I'm going to go to Maui. He's like, hey, Rob, you get in any kind of trouble now, you just tell him you know Kalooks. I'm like, man, yeah, I'm going to tell him I know Kalooks. Get the hell out of here. Walk out there, do the usual. Got me and the wife there. Oh, we're going to have a romantic evening. Go out there, no rent-a-car. What do you mean? You never called for the rent-a-car? I told you she's Greek. I'm like, yeah, they must have lost it. So, of course, I forgot to call. Now they're out of cars. I'm in Maui. I got no car. So what do? I know Kalooks. I got a car. Oh, you know Kalooks? Swear to God, hand to God, true story. I got a van. I'm like, yeah, Kalooks, my man. Anyway, I ended up loving the kid. He was, oh, man, is he mean as a rattlesnake. And there was a reason why that kid was captain with all those first-round draft choices. I love that guy. Ended up, looks can be deceiving.
All right, the words are funny. Do me a favor, just put it in the picture-in-picture, please. I don't want it with audio. The video's funnier. Just I don't need any of the words. Him wandering around lost. The way your great abuelo is when he lost all of his sensibilities. Wandering off the screen, wandering out of the press conference, waddling with that particular shape that shows when he gets behind the podium that it's There's a wide berth going on there of just coaching for 30 years, pizza boxes in your van, him wandering on and off the set, just simply yammering.
It's amazing. I mean, honestly, the hair obviously is the best part of this video, but you can follow the story, right? Like, he coached Jaden Mayava's uncle, who like got a connection to a car in Hawaii, but like the way he does it, he was walking back and forth. He says, I run things in Oahu. He says he's a great communicator. He just keeps going on like these little tangents while he keeps walking away and coming back. Oh, it's electric. It's so good.
I told you, she's Greek.
Mean as a rattlesnake was great too.
I want to get there, like in my life. Like, I want to be Rob Ryan.
I mean, you're a yammerer, dude.
What? Me? How so?
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Does Rob Ryan run Oahu?
When you said that you have word association with Rob Ryan and it's empty pizza boxes, I also have word association with Rob Ryan, and it's because of a video that I was sent that it wasn't, the nicest video to be sent, and it was media night for the Super Bowl 2020 in Miami. There's like a welcome media party usually like on the Monday or the Tuesday. And this one was, I believe, at the Port of Miami at one of like the
Norwegian cruise liner terminal.
One of the terminals. Yeah. And I didn't go. I heard that it was kind of a mess getting there, getting in and out. But I had a spy that was there that throughout the night was sending me videos of Rob Ryan dancing. Because there was like a live band or music that was playing, and there was one person dancing. And it was Rob Ryan, and he was loving it.
He's so electric. Like, I saw him in person for the first time at that Miami Super Bowl, and it's the most starstruck I've been in my whole career. This is the same week that like I interviewed Joe Burrow and Travis Kelce and like all these other NFL players. But I saw Rob Ryan from behind. I saw his beautiful hair, and I was like, oh my God, it's Rob. I took a picture of him sneakily from behind. It was amazing.
Here's one of the funny things about all of this, because you can make the argument that Rex Ryan had the most successful run in Jets history as a coach. It wouldn't be a great argument, but he'd be toward the top of the list of whatever success resembles for the New York Jets. And because of that, and this is funny, what I'm going to tell you, what my analysis is of all of this. I will laugh at Rob Ryan, that video, and all the ones that came before it, as the lesser of the two Ryan brothers who speak all the time as if you can hear that they are licking their teeth. I will laugh at the Ryans as both being some people who you can imagine with pizza boxes in their car. But because USC has hired Rob Ryan as defensive coordinator, I know nothing else except they'll probably be better at defense. And it's only because they can't be much worse. It's not even about Rob Ryan. But even with that press conference, I'm like, I don't need to know anything else. I believe that Lincoln Riley is going to have a better defense next year because Rob Ryan is around it and his pizza boxes are around it. And I don't think that's a very smart thing for me to be doing.
No, I mean, he's the linebackers coach, and he has great hair. And their defense was already a lot better last year when they brought in D'Anton Lynn, and now they have a Ryan. And not only a Ryan, the best Ryan of all, better than Buddy, better than Rex, the best Ryan.
Whoa! No one has that opinion, not even Rob.
I know. I mean, it's sacrilegious. I'm from Chicago.
My favorite part of that video is it's about 2 minutes and 15 seconds long. You get about 55 seconds into it, and he goes, anyway, and then goes on for another minute and 15 seconds where he's talking about some JUCO kid that he wants to go
from punch.
It was incredible.
The little runt.
Yeah, that's quality right there. Billy, do me a favor, please. I have been told by Taylor, and I've been told by people around Taylor who wish for less Taylor. I've been told by Taylor that he thinks, I put him in charge of Gas Bag of the Week, and we've seen how that's gone. We did it 3 times and then didn't do it again. Now we have phone calls from listeners that are sponsored, and I've been very underwhelmed by how the employees at this company rise up to please our sponsors. They don't do a very good job of helping the people who sponsor us.
You're talking about the Boost mobile line, 305-486-GOTS?
Yeah, I was very disappointed by the first few calls. When we're challenging the entirety of the internet and telephone systems nationally and internationally to produce the best hot take, and what we got was an unending river of diarrhea, an unending river of everything that was in Jimmy Butler's shorts, everything that's been running through the Heat locker room. There's a viral.
That's pretty crazy.
There's a viral strain. All of this. Our callers have been that. I blame our callers for Jimmy Butler taking that, like the bird flu from Miami to Golden State. I blame that locker room for being infected by our callers being shitty at takes. So Taylor says we've got a group now that are worthy of the sponsorship. I don't believe him. I don't trust him.
Well, I mean, I can just play it for you if you want. Again, if you want to participate.
But are you notarizing this? Are you endorsing this? You're playing something that I haven't heard.
No.
You're playing Jeremy's boldly. You're playing something I have not heard. And lately, I don't trust the judgment of our crew to play things that are well for the sponsors because you guys aren't respecting the sponsors.
The sponsor, as you mentioned, is Boost Mobile, 305-486-GOTS if you want to do this. Boldest take from the weekend. And we can, we usually air them earlier in the week, but this week we had this compilation. I'm gonna be honest. I chuckled.
All right. Well, that is the highest compliment. I thought that the highest compliment on the show was the Hakeem Nicks laugh, but you saying you chuckled
slightly,
not full out laugh.
No, a slight chuckle.
I think a slight chuckle is redundant. I think a chuckle is.
It wasn't a coy chuckle though. It wasn't like a. It was like I was on the couch. I was like.
All right, let's see what we have here. But I don't trust your judgment here because you like when things are bad. That's the thing. Yeah, you like when things are terrible.
Hey, this is Evan from Houston. Just to set the visual, I'm like a 5'8" Dwayne Wade, but with the hairline of Thibodeau.
My hot take of the week is that you people that back into parking spaces, you're screwing it up for the rest of us.
Avocados are overrated.
Terry Rozier for Caitlin Clark. She gives us more spacing, opens up the lanes, and we shed some salary cap. Would love to hear your thoughts.
Tom Izzo compiler?
I present to you limited fake Arnold Schwarzenegger stuck in a bear trap. I can't get to the chopper. It's not a tumor. It's a bear trap.
This is Clay from Tennessee. First thing I wanted to say is prayers up for Dalton Connect.
Cheesecake is a terrible dessert. It's just cheese and graham cracker crust.
Why in the hell are we still using toilet paper in America in 2025? Japan has it right with those toilets.
Yes, this is Sean Connery calling from The Rock. Hot dogs are better with all beef.
What happens to the large scissors that are used at grand openings? What's happening to those scissors? Are they getting used again? Are they traveling around the country to be used at multiple grand openings? How many of these are there?
Dan from Maine, in the legendary chicken parm sandwich, the mozzarella does all the heavy lifting. Why do we not call it a chicken mozz instead of a chicken parm?
Now that Aaron Rodgers' career is over with the Jets and that experiment, like all Jets experiments, I messed up. I'm going to call back. I'll see you soon.
Chuckle.
Chicken parm. That's a strong take.
Man.
He's right.
What do happen to those large scissors?
Chicken mozz.
Where do they go? Who uses them?
Put it on the poll, please. Juju at Le Batard Show. Does Japan have it right with those toilets? What happens to the giant scissors after the grocery store opening? Yes or no? That's how I want that question to look. What happens? Because it's not something I'd ever considered before that call. I will hunt down, I will have private investigators do this, whoever it is that claimed on our anonymous line that cheesecake is overrated. I will hunt that person down, and I will take the consequences that a jury gives me for what I do to that person.
I'll back you up. You're right to do that.
Bad ally.
An ally, though, Dan. He's an ally.
I am an ally. We established that earlier in the week.
Caitlin Clark for Terry
Did it
Rozier.
a lot earlier than that. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, Caitlin. Well,
that's a good call.
Are you guys bothered that they're not going to do the Steph Sabrina thing again this year? Like that was the best thing about last year's All-Star game, was it not? Why wouldn't they do that again? Why would they not take a thing that we were all interested in when everyone's complaining about what this weekend is and not do it again?
Well, I think it was offered to Caitlin and she rejected it, which, by the way, good for her because like she has absolutely nothing to gain from that stunt. Because I think that the prize is like $50,000, which of her player salary, it's like more than 2/3 of her player salary. But like also, if you lose, then
Who
Of
cares?
course you lost.
You lose, though. Like, have fun.
No.
The whole thing is have fun, right? You're going against the greatest shooter who's ever lived. And you're going to go there and shoot around, have fun, hug at the end. Hey, this was great. All right, guys, let's go.
Well, I think Caitlin just wanted to do the 3-point contest at WNBA All-Star in Indianapolis this year. So, like, there's... No, but if that's her first 3-point contest, it's undoubtedly there's more hype that you can build around it at your own league's 3-point like, I think what she's doing is pretty smart there. Yeah. And also, I'm with you. That the Sabrina Steph thing was like the only All-Star thing I watched last year. Like, it was really fun, and then I forgot there was even a game the next day.
It was close, and it is close. Like, it's something that I was surprised that would be close because I don't expect Steph to be close against anybody of any gender. So I'd like to see it again because she left me with the impression she could beat him. And I didn't think that there was somebody who could beat him at that. I would make him the favorite shooting against anybody in the history of the sport at that. Like anybody who's ever shot a basketball. And my imagination is not unlimited enough to imagine who will ever shoot it better than that. So
Who will ever shoot it?
I was going to do it to myself.
Also,
there.
Dan, don't look now, but Notre Dame women's basketball, speaking of women's basketball, maybe ranked #1 when the next rankings come out because USC beat UCLA last night and Notre Dame beat USC earlier in the season. Juju Watkins had a really, really good game, but Hannah Dog was also really good, and Olivia Miles also really, really good. They're both on the midseason award watch list for National Player of the Year, and they both have a very good shot at it, and Sonia Citron's also really good. So don't look now, but Notre Dame is really, really good at women's basketball.
Also, prayers up for Dalton Connect.
So don't look now. You don't want me to look now.
No, don't look now. Juju Watkins is really, really good at basketball, but don't look now.
Don't look now.
Notre Dame's also really good.
I like Don't Look Now correspondent talking through her teeth about things that people shouldn't look at. Why do you have that look on your face, Tony?
Because, Dan, Don't Look Now makes me think there's a lot of things that we shouldn't look at, but that we should talk about.
Ooh. Hold on a second.
What do you think about that?
I feel like there's
don't look
something
at me, though.
here.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. So she's telling me not to look now. I want to look now because she's telling me to look by not looking now.
Don't.
But she's telling me not to look, but now I want to look because she's telling me there's something great over there. Why wouldn't I want to look at it? If don't look now, but I want to look at it. And so you're telling me, what are you doing? What are you?
I'm taking Don't Look Now to the next level. I'm actually gonna cover my eyes.
I think you've got that upside down.
No, I got it right side up.
I think. Do you?
Hold on
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure.
It's a small one. It's a small one.
No, I think it might be upside down.
Really?
I
I
can't
can't see though because I'm not looking.
Yeah.
That's the whole
Okay,
point.
so
Wait, hold on a second. I have an idea for this.
Well, we got music for this?
It's time for a new game. Don't Look Now.
I love the budget that you guys poured into that. Whose voice was that?
We did that in like 10 seconds.
That's
We
unbelievable.
just started saying
I can't
Don't Look
believe
Now.
how creative you guys
By the way, Don't Look Now, which we just came up with, is presented by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. Please drink responsibly.
So, Tony, we're doing something here. You've got an upside-down mask. That's a sleep mask. I will tell you that there's a photo somewhere of me synchronized swimming with an Olympics synchronized swimming team in the 1990s. And my nose, because I wasn't familiar with how it is that you put the nose plug on, was upside down in all the photographs I've taken. Jessica, is that an upside-down sleep mask? Because he looks more like a sexy Batman character sort of role-playing in his bedroom
It is Valentine's Day, Dan.
than he does like somebody trying to cover his eyes to blindfold himself.
Are you asking me if I think he looks sexy or like a Batman
Batman, like a Batman.
You guys ever do superheroes? Is that what we're talking about here?
Yes, that looks like how you would role play if you were trying to be a superhero. Tom Powers, fullback of the bedroom.
I think what's going on here, for full disclosure here, with new game, full disclosure, we're being very careful with that mask because it's for a company that doesn't sponsor us anymore.
Okay.
Dan, you said Don't Look Now, but
Appreciate that.
in the spirit of Don't Look Now, there's a couple things that I want to get off my chest that we shouldn't be looking at. As you can see, I'm not looking at it right now. I don't know if you guys are looking at me. Dan, do not look at me, okay? I want you to don't look now, but I want you to imagine a future. How are you reading?
It's a good question.
Holding up a piece
It
of
is.
paper
You're
and
holding-
reading
it is-
it.
I want you to
How did
imagine
this
a
happen?
future.
I think the way this works is someone else wears the blindfold, and you say, "Don't look now," and they're blindfolded.
No,
If
but I'm
you're
not looking.
blindfolded-
I'm so committed to the bit that I'm not looking.
Got
All right.
it.
You're
Imagine
holding up
if
the piece of paper for a
But
fact.
it looks like you're reading from
It
a piece
does.
of
It
paper.
could look like that if you were looking, but the problem is you should not be looking.
I wasn't looking, but Billy made me. I wasn't
Stop
looking.
looking.
You
Stop
can't
looking.
look, but
Stop
Tony's wearing the
looking.
blindfold.
Okay,
and
here it
reading,
is.
but don't look now.
Imagine a future with Drake May, T. Higgins, and Travis Hunter.
Ooh,
Don't look
that
now,
could
but
be
that
fun.
could be a very dangerous offense.
I'm worried for the Dolphins. If that's the case, you also have the Bills. Whatever the Jets end up doing is going to be better
Is
than
Dan
it was
looking?
now.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Sorry,
You don't
he, it was a
look.
he peeked. He peeked. He didn't look.
What position is Hunter playing?
But all of them.
Okay.
Stop. He looked.
Wide
Yeah,
receiver
all right.
and corner,
He
Dan,
looked-
for Braves.
No.
Come on, he's going to love that.
You got to go to the next one. He looked at that one.
Dan, don't look now. Jim Harbaugh, Pete Carroll, back in the same division.
Oh, man.
No, Dan, stop looking.
It was, a peek. It was
Por tu
accidental.
madre.
It was accidental. It
Well,
was
but
accidental.
it's just you're,
It was
you're
fine.
teasing me with
You're
the
fine,
things you're
yeah.
saying.
Dan, I know how much you care about the future of Derek Carr. But don't look now. But Kellen Moore wouldn't commit to Derek Carr as his quarterback moving forward in New Orleans. Don't look now, but that could be a really big deal in the way that ultimately shapes their division, Dan.
That's big.
I don't.
No, stop looking.
No, don't.
Well,
Yeah,
so is it
don't.
looking or talking? Because
Well,
you
don't
guys,
look.
You
But
can
if you
talk.
acknowledge it, it seems like
You
you're
can
looking
talk,
at
you
it.
just can't
What
look.
it is it's presented by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. Please drink responsibly. We all know that.
Do we have any more of these?
Well, do you have one? I thought you were prepared for this.
Well, I wasn't prepared
Oh.
for it. I don't think I'm allowed to look. I don't think I'm allowed to look at what it is that I'm saying, but I will try. Don't look now, but that Saints job is a torturous kind of hell that has all sorts of salary cap problems and is the only job in the NFL that is not actually coveted that Mike McCarthy and others turned down. Don't look now.
That's a good one, actually.
And
That
also,
was kind of cool. I kind of want to look at that.
And as an extra added bonus on Don't Look Now, also, you really don't want to look at this. What the Saints did with the Catholic Church, don't look now.
Oh.
Don't ever look at that.
Damn.
Yeah. Are you looking at it?
Nope.
Did you look at it before?
I try not to.
Okay.
But I think everybody needs to know about that. But that's probably not
we should
something
probably
we should
look at
put
it.
Maybe they
in
can
the-
listen to it but not look at it.
Well,
Is
let's
that-
No,
We
should
should
look
take.
at
We
it.
should take a look.
All
into
right,
all of
someone
that.
looked next
We
one.
should,
Okay.
we should
Yeah.
listen to
Someone
it.
looked, yeah.
Dan, don't look now, but the Pittsburgh Steelers allegedly interested in Trevor Lawrence.
After a $250 million contract? That would be amazing. Wow. Duval.
Some people were saying, you know what, that's a landing spot for Aaron Rodgers, but
Stop,
Trevor.
Dan, don't look.
I'm
Because
so-
apparently,
Dan!
apparently it didn't happen. There's already reports
He
that didn't
looked.
happen. That's why you're not supposed to look.
Oh, why
You know
did
what I
Ugh,
just
on
did?
Valentine's Day.
Not only did I just look, I looked and saw that Stephen A. Smith was on my TV screen saying, does Rodgers going to the Steelers, is that a culture killer? I just saw it on the screen. I'm sorry. So Aaron Rodgers
Good
is
question by him.
available, and now, but don't look at that either. So I'm sorry. How many more of these do we have?
Wait, hold on. Don't look now. This is a sidebar to that. Don't look now, and it's something that I put out there on God Bless Football, which is available today. But I'm curious your thoughts on this.
Don't look at it, though.
If Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers and ends Mike Tomlin's streak of not having a winning season, I say out of the Hall of Fame. Don't look now.
Mike Tomlin becomes out of the Hall
No,
of Fame?
Aaron Rodgers out of the Hall of Fame.
So you're
for
saying
ruining
if
that
they
streak.
have a losing season
Correct.
So it's
with
like
Aaron
what
Rodgers.
Yes.
gravitational pull is stronger, Mike Tomlin towards 10+ win seasons or Aaron Rodgers towards being just really
Yes.
not good?
Exactly.
lately?
Don't look now.
Don't look now.
But the last time Mike Tomlin won a playoff game, Barack Obama was president.
Lewis,
definitely not looking.
Lewis, would you do me the favor, please, of playing for the people? You got to turn down the music here. You can get back to it if you want, but for the moment, can you just play Liam Cohen trying, the new Jacksonville coach, trying to say Duval?
That's what this is about. Jacksonville, the community. Duval.
Yeah.
How do we do this together?
Duval.
It's haunting. It's just creepy.
Jacksonville's a weird place, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
For a number of reasons, but like the Jaguars seems like a weird place in Jacksonville.
That's correct. All of it is a little off. Are we done with Don't Look Now? There are some other things that I like the game. I'm willing.
Are you still looking, though?
Well,
Stop looking.
Yes.
I'd like to play it again. Do you have anything else? Or
You want
are
to
we
start
done?
the bet again? We can start the music
No,
again.
I
Let me
don't-
check. Hold on. Let me
New
check my
intro
paper really
presented
quick.
by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. Please drink responsibly.
I want to talk about a couple of other things, but if you have more of this, I'm willing to play a little
I've got
more.
one more on my paper here, Dan.
The paper you can't read because your eyes are covered?
Exactly right, because I'm not looking. Don't look now, Dan. The Dolphins have negative $11.6 million in cap space.
That's not
good.
great.
Not good.
Something's got to give.
That is good salary cap analysis from our love coach, Billy Gill, Billy Chill, Billy Ill. These things that you are, Billy, I just am curious. Your name is Guillermo. I asked somebody this. I asked somebody this morning. Billy is short for William, correct?
Yes.
But your Guillermo, is Guillermo Spanish for William?
It is.
Okay, did not know that before right now.
What?
Wait,
honestly, did
hold
not.
on a
Are you
second.
looking?
I was looking.
Okay,
yes.
that's why you didn't know.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Did you know Guillermo was Spanish for Billy? I did not know that.
What?
Yeah.
Guillermo is William in Spanish.
No, I know that.
Oh.
I'm shocked Dan did not know that.
There's a lot of people that don't know my name around these parts. Like when I checked into the hotel at Super Bowl, we couldn't find my room. And we were looking and looking and looking, and I said, try Ben Lyons, because that's been a mistake that's happened. And they didn't find my room under Ben Lyons. And it turns out it was under William Gill, which I've never been. They're like, do you want me to change it? I'm like, yes, please. And then other times there's like a 2L in my last name situation that's confusing.
What does your government
No
ID
respect.
say? What is your middle
Rodney
name, Billy?
Dangerfield.
What is all of it?
What's that now?
What's your whole government name?
Guillermo. Well, I mean, if I'm going to say it properly.
And also, what's your PIN number on your ATM card?
Hold on a second.
Last 4 years social.
Guillermo Luis Gil. So even Gil isn't my last name,
Yeah,
if we're
it's
going to be
Gil.
perfectly honest. Yeah. And people only found that out because of Luis Gil, pitcher for the Yankees. Also my dad's name. And my grandfather, R.I.P.
But neither the pitcher.
Are we done?
I have one more. Don't look now if you don't want to look. Ooh, this one's very controversial, very conspiratorial, if you will, Dan.
Well, do we want to?
Yeah, we do. We do. Okay, don't look now. But the Giants have just hired Matthew Stafford's brother-in-law to be part of their coaching staff.
Oh,
what is that supposed to mean?
Didn't Colin Cowherd report Stafford to the Giants?
Sounds like you're looking, Dan.
I was looking.
You're not
Cowherd
supposed
was
to be
for
doing
sure
that.
looking. I
All
know
right,
he was
you know
looking.
what? I'm not good at this game. We will revisit it. We will play it better. I like the game. We will try it. We will try it again next week. A couple of things that I want to get to here. First of all, put George Lopez on the screen for me because I did not know that George Lopez looked like this. I have not known. I have not felt in my life that George Lopez is the funniest of the Latin people, even though he has gotten, I think, most of the fame for being the funniest of the Latin people. I am enjoying this particular dance. He looks funny here. But can you look up for me, Jeremy, please? Because I don't know what happened with him in a casino with some drunkenness and being on a floor and stuff. But I thought the George Lopez thing was done right there, wherever it is that was happening. But here is George Lopez, looking the way George Lopez does. And your thoughts here are what, Tony? Are you and Guillermo here, Guillermo Luis, are you guys George Lopez fans as representation on behalf of funny for us, for America?
There's people that find George Lopez funny. I'm not one of them, but I appreciate, Hispanics going out there and making people laugh and stuff. I'm not looking now because obviously we're still playing Don't Look
You
Now.
can take that off.
Oh, I can take it off?
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
okay,
take the
hold on.
blindfold
All
off.
right, let me see. I haven't seen George Lopez in a while. What does he look like?
Oh, you haven't seen what he looks like?
No,
he looks like crap.
Whoa,
that was unnecessary.
Can I describe what I think he looks like? What in the picture in my mind, I have him like jet black hair. I got like the George Lopez of old, right? The George Lopez show. He's got the tan skin. He's
Nailed
looking
it.
good.
No, this is old George Lopez. This is not the George Lopez of old. This
Looks like Rob Ryan.
Yeah, a little Rob Ryan in there. A little Rob Ryan.
Roberto Ryan.
Roberto.
Looks like Jerry Jerry Garcia.
Roberto's like the Spanish version of Robert, by the way, Dan. I don't know if you
Thank
know
you,
that one.
Jessica. I appreciate your Latin indoctrination here.
Can I ask you guys a delicate question that I think we've all been wondering, and if you can put the video of George Lopez dancing again because it's related to this video. A lot of us are thinking it, and no one, I don't think, has asked it. But Does Jennifer Hudson actually have a show, or does she just make people dance in a hallway? Because I don't think I've ever seen a clip of her actual show, but every day I just see pictures of people dancing in the hallway, be it George Lopez or Dan Orlovsky or whoever. There's just always people dancing
You're telling me
down
that
the
this
hallway.
happens all the time. I've never seen
day.
one of these videos before.
This is a thing. This is a video. She has her guests dance down the hallway, and her staff serenades the celebrities
By
as
saying
they're
their name.
dancing down the hallway to
Really?
the stage. But I have never seen a clip of the actual show. Just videos of everyone dancing in the hallway or like awkwardly like walking. Like, what am I supposed to do now? Yeah.
What channel is her show on?
I don't know. It's just on Twitter and Instagram, and it's just videos of people dancing. I don't know that they actually go anywhere.
I have to be honest, though, this video by itself is as funny as I've ever seen George Lopez be. I associate George Lopez basically with just one move where he sort of makes his joke and then moves his hand down to his belt buckle and just looks off to the side like that's his. And I don't think he's funny, but this is funny, and he's dancing well, and his hair is absolutely helping the visuals on this. Jeremy, what details can you give me about George Lopez being on the floor sleeping in a casino because he had too much to drink?
It's actually not reckless speculation. He was on the floor asleep at a casino in Canada and was arrested for public intoxication. But there was a photo of him that sort of leaked out of him falling asleep on the floor in the casino. And he said, tied one on last night, not feeling great this morning, was trying to sleep it off. Unfortunately, it was on the casino floor.
Also, Billy, the show is wildly popular. It has like 6 million followers on TikTok.
But because of these videos, I'm telling you, if you look, it's all of these videos. Look at the one, and I don't think we have time to do it, but look at the one that's a guy that everyone accused of being Dan Orlovsky, and he can't shake it. Dan Orlovsky is now known for two things, running out of the end zone and dancing while walking down the hall of the Jennifer Hudson show that he was never on. It was not Dan Orlovsky, but they continued to bring it up and ask him about it because the guy has his hair cut.
Video, please find that and just put it up in the last 8 minutes that we have here. Let me get to a couple of other things. We're headed for a bit of streaming chaos during March Madness now that Paramount is off of YouTube. I'm sorry, sports fans, that this greedy hunt for extra streaming dollars is going to end up ruining March Madness for many of you.
We have a betrayal video out here. It is not the Dan Orlovsky video, but it is Rob Ryan dancing sadly at media night.
There is nothing sad about this.
Sad about that.
There's
that is
nothing
not
sad
There's
about
somebody
Rob
else
Ryan
dancing there
at the
too.
media party.
Somebody's
That is
dancing
not
with
sad.
them.
Nothing sad about that.
You know what? This just reminded me. I met him at a different Super Bowl party. I just remembered. Charlotte and I went up to him and we're like, Rob Ryan, we're such big fans of yours. And he was like, why? I'm Rob Ryan.
It's a great question.
It is a surprising question, though, to
It was
hear
so awkward
from
that I
Rob
forgot I
Ryan.
met him.
Yes, that you were so starstruck the first time you met him that you forgot the other time that you met him. It seems to dilute some of your shell shock when you say, I was with Joe Burrow. I was with.
I met Josh Allen that night too, but the Rob Ryan thing I repressed.
The second meeting of Rob Ryan. I also wanted to ask you, because one of Tony mentioned in Don't Look Now that the Patriots have some ability to do some things on offense if they get creative around building around Drake May. And what I wanted to ask you is the report from Pablo Torre finds out, which I was really surprised to learn, that Pablo Torre is reporting that Bill Belichick's girlfriend, who was in the Dunkin' Donuts commercial with Bill Belichick and is 50 years younger than him, is his de facto agent right now. And if that's so, and you're putting yourself in a Dunkin' Donuts commercial with Ben Affleck and Bill Belichick, it's something I've never seen an agent do before in the history of being a sports agent.
This is a follow-up question, I guess, that only Pablo could answer. But is she like his agent, or is she just his much younger, media-savvy girlfriend / person who's managing his affairs?
Well, manager is different than agent, though, right?
Sort of. Not necessarily. I mean, well, is she getting 10%? Is she getting 5%? What's her cut? Just an appearance in the Dunkin' video? That's probably worth something monetarily. I don't know. Dan, I have a lot of questions about this. But my point is, I wouldn't be surprised if a older person dating a younger person had the younger person who probably has more, media connections and media savvy sort of like do some of the work there. And also be like, I want to be in the commercial.
I hate to do this on Valentine's Day. I really do. Like, I don't want to do it, but I just want to pose the question out there.
Don't look now?
Don't look now. But I can see this ending amicably, right, between the two lovers, Bill Belichick and his girlfriend. But then her still being part of his media savvy team and continue to help him throughout his days as a coach and whatever else is in his future.
I see this as a spinoff into a reality show for her at some point. That's what's going to happen,
Bachelorette,
right?
maybe?
The Traders.
I don't know where she ends up, but I want
Love is
Belichick to be a
Blind?
part of it.
That's also another name for Don't Look Now.
How do you guys feel? Because we have played the video before of Robert Kraft and his audition with what people were saying was a young woman that he was trying to help in an audition, and we saw his very poor acting. A manager of any sort putting themselves in a Dunkin' Donuts commercial for the Super Bowl, like whether she is media savvy or not, it is again like I'm used to people behaving like Drew Rosenhaus. I'm plenty used to agents doing nothing but being interested in their own personal gain. But to be next to Bill Belichick in a commercial as someone who's only there so that I can ask, is that his girlfriend? Because I otherwise wouldn't know her by anything yet. But that is a level of grabbing for something that I thought was outside of the auspices of what an agent or a manager is supposed to do. But in the modern age, he is going to need some help with whatever it is reaching young people beyond buying pizzas for the frats at North Carolina before Duke, North Carolina.
When we were in New Orleans for the Super Bowl at Radio Row, we spoke to someone who has trafficked in these waters before, in Sean Stellato, who is Daniel Jones's agent. And he mentioned that he has an agent, which is kind of like, well, okay, why does your agent need an agent? But he said something that I thought was interesting and hadn't considered. He's like, yeah, to be perfectly honest with you, like going viral was great, not just for me, but for my clients, because I have so many brands that have reached out because they want me to do things that then I get work for my clients and I get them endorsements also, which is not the way you would think it would work out at all. But somehow he's managed to have the moment of him out there in his suit that went around get more work for his clients that they wouldn't have normally gotten because of him.
Well, I mean, it makes a ton of sense. It's not like she's just his agent, Dan. It's like Drew Rosenhaus isn't dating, as far as I know, one of his clients. Like they're in a relationship, and he's also like, this has made him infinitely more relevant than just taking a college football job. The fact that he's on a red carpet. Do you think people are talking more about North Carolina football or him and his young girlfriend on the red carpet at the NFL Honors? Way more people are talking about that right now. This is like how he stays like cool and hip and relevant.
With all the rings on too, Dan, what kind of message was he sending there? What do you think? Don't look now. But he was wearing all his Super Bowl rings after he was kind of pushed out of the league.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, right? We're not going to surround Bill Belichick with other random 20-something-year-old women, but that's the thing. Having the young girlfriend right now is like the crazy thing that he's doing differently, and he's in commercials, so why not make her a part of it? That's essentially the brand at this point for him is, hey, I'm at 72 years old, and I'm going to be like, you've never seen me before.
Don't look now. You've never seen this version
now
of
you
me
get
before.
Now we
the
understand.
part that I would be most interested in, because we can speculate and talk around something that is interesting, but when it comes to career management, when it comes to people getting advice from the people they sleep next to because they're the most intimate and love those people the most, it is something that I would like to hear, the business meeting strategy, where it's explained who's leading whom on what's being decided here, on how it is that you go about getting to that commercial. For example, Ben Affleck wants Bill Belichick in that Dunkin' commercial. Does Bill Belichick go back to Ben Affleck and be like, can my girlfriend be in this too? Like,
You hate that guy, by the way. You hate that guy. Hey, can my girlfriend come? It's like, buddy, do you see any other girlfriends here? It's a boys thing. What are you doing? The boys up in Canada right now watching Puck are not like, hey, can I bring my girlfriend along? No, you never want to be that guy. If the boys are going to be with the boys, you're going to hang out with the boys. If other girls are going, then other girls. Thank you,
Men
babe.
should only hang out with men, and women should only hang out with women in
Thank
the kitchen
you.
where they belong.
Thank you. Don't look now, though.
Would you watch a Bill Belichick sex tape?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, come on. For
Yeah,
sure.
I'd be locked in.
Bill Belichick is doing what we all dream of doing.
It's hard to say no, right?
You can't say no.
You wonder what is it like?
You saw him leaving the thing on the ring camera, and you're like,
Yeah,
good
it
looking
was
chest.
a tease. Yeah, surprising.
Good looking chest there.
Yeah, weird, but not bad. Better than mine.
He's a dog.
Let's play the person who's not Orlovsky dancing.
It does look like him.